everybody, this is Janet Wright, and this is going to be an introductory video introducing you to the concepts of this triplet group healing set, and just to like an overview on what I learned from the surveys that I read from the first healing, and just some tips and observations I have for people about I think, they can be generally relevant, but also in particular to now, because yesterday was the winter solstice for most of my clients. So the shortest day of the year, plus also it's around the holiday season. A lot of people have, a lot of triggers going on. So I wanted to give some overall tips on that in this intro video. And then there will be maybe just one big technique video for this set. Not quite positive it will sort of evolve and happen as it happens. But essentially this triplet set is happening, it's the last one of the year, 2018, so that's exciting. And it, I was saying just the other day, I think it's probably the 5 days that I would think people would most want healings on. Well, at least I would, The first healing yesterday was on winter solstice, which is kind of hip, and plus it's just the shortest sunlight day of the year and all that. So that was cool to have the first healing then. And then the second healing is tomorrow, Sunday. And then the third healing is Tuesday, which is Christmas Day, which, maybe you don't celebrate it on a religious level, but maybe you have social obligations or people do, and therefore they're less centered, yada, yada, yada. So it's a fantastic thing to get healed on Christmas Day. So I'm very excited to be healing all these people on these days. Super, super cool. So the theme of this triplet set is, it's funny, it's serenity and productivity. But I do have I think productivity, it is about productivity, but it's also like compassionate productivity where, maybe you just need to rest today, So you got to consider your health and what time of year it is and how that time of year generally affects you, all sorts of things. So compassionate productivity is where you, consider the multiple factors. But it is about productivity. But you may find that you need to rest more, at this time of year. You can put like in your survey if you're a participant, or just comment under a video, question. Because sometimes you feel like you need to rest and you really do. But sometimes maybe you're just feeling off because you haven't repaired your aura today and your aura's all bashed in. And so if you fixed your aura, then you'd feel fine again. So, there's that. But anyway, so this triplet set helps with serenity and productivity, but compassionate productivity. And it uses life river healing, again, just like the set before it, which was about serenity and creativity. That used life river healing. So I consider this one sort of life river healing 2.0, like it's the sequel movie to the first movie, and it's even better and it builds on the first one. So we do use life river healing again, and the prep work and the life river work is similar, but better, I think. In the set, just because I'm improving thanks to people filling out their surveys and studying, why people are experiencing certain things, and then the angels keep teaching me, and so things just keep getting cooler. So that's what this set's about. And also, in the prep to, just like in the last set, in the prep to life river healing, there's this unraveling of resistance that we're doing, which is really nice. It's another non-resistance method, because resistance, the more you let go of your resistance, the more everything flows better. It's this really like under the surface way of just relaxing all your flow, and it's very, very helpful. So that enables me to do deep work like this Life River healing work with a whole group of people, because I'm also doing this unraveling resistance work, and that enables people to kind of surf things so much easier. But I do need to bring up this time of year, you know, and physically this time of year may impact you in certain ways. Also, you know, socially, what's going on with people you know, that may impact you as well. And so I think sometimes in the surveys, you know, I think over time with surveys, people have learned a lot, you know, about, because sometimes I do reply to a survey. I can't reply all the time to everyone's survey. I mean, usually I don't reply to surveys, but every once in a while, you know, like a good example is a guy's survey that he did this time. And he said, I was really grumpy. You know, I was driving all day yesterday and I was really grumpy the whole time. This Life River stuff must have really gotten me grumpy. And I looked at it, because, you know, it's possible and I want to help him if that's true. But no, it's like he was missing half of the back of his aura. It was just standard, like, you know, hacked up the back. Someone hacked up the back of his aura. And, you know, I felt bad because he just assumed it was the healing, so he didn't fix his aura. So I emailed him. I'm like, aura repair, fix your aura. But I think over time, people have learned, you know, I know that people have learned, because every once in a while, someone will make that assumption and then I'll email them back and then they'll be like, oh, of course, I'm sorry, yeah, duh. You know, so, because it's funny, because the healings happen over a 5-day period, but so does your life, you know. So everybody, I think, the more triplets they do, the more skilled they get at their intuition of like, well, is this just that I need to rest more because of the time of year? Is this healing deeper so I need to rest more? Or am I missing the whole back of my aura? You know, and I just need to fix it for 3 minutes. So that's been interesting, particularly this time with these surveys, because yeah, that's more and more true at this time of year, that either for physical reasons, people just need to rest. Like this one woman, she's like, I think this triplet set's kicking my butt. And she wasn't trying to be mean or anything, you know, but she thought it was that the healing method is pretty deep and it was kicking her butt. But at the time I noticed it was like, no, your angels just keep chanting that you need to rest, you need to sleep, you need to nap. You know, it's just something that you need right now. And that's unique to her, you know. So I just wanted to mention that, I guess. So try to, I guess I wouldn't, you know, if you need feedback about that, you know, I read the first and the second surveys in a timely manner, you know, before that next healing happens. The final survey, I delay reading. So that wouldn't be the fastest way to raise an issue with me, the third survey, but the first and second survey, that's a nice thing. You can just, you know, say, is it because of this or because of this, you know? But again, please understand if I just can't respond, because there are so many surveys. But anyway, so one thing, oh, and if you do think you may need aura repair, you know, just go ahead and do it. You know, it can't hurt. Generally, you need aura repair if your mood takes a fast shift, you know, like all of a sudden you're exhausted, or all of a sudden you're crabby. You know, a lot of times you need aura repair. Sometimes you're grounding blocked up. So if you're grounding blocked up, you could do that 6-minute tricolor earth energy soak video. And I'll put these at the bottom of the playlist. They're usually always at the bottom of the playlist because they're so handy. So that 6-minute tricolor earth energy soak, that's good for unblocking your aura. And then the aura repair one, that's gold energy aura buffer zones, where I'm actually wearing this sweatshirt in that video. And gold energy aura buffer zones. And that I teach you how to repair your aura and use gold energy aura buffers. So anyway, so another thing I want to bring up, oh, well, in a general point of information, this healing was for 83 people. It's supposed to be for 80, but that's okay. A couple of people got added along the way. But one guy who got added, you know, along the way, just for the second and third healing, I was talking to him on email about being able to light your own light, you know, and I think that's a great, I think that's particularly, I think it's always relevant, but I think it's especially relevant for now, you know, winter solstice time, shortest daylight time of the year, you know, if that is for you. My Australian friends, I love you, but I know that's not right now for you. But anyway, if it's, you know, the winter solstice or near there for you, it's the shortest daylight time, and I think it's you may not feel very high energy and very peppy, well, naturally you may not, for physical reasons, but I think being able to light your own light, your own inner fire is an important personal skill. And I practice that today, you know, because discussing it with that guy helped me remind me with that healing participant. So hi. But, you know, when there's no sunlight to pep you up, when, you know, sometimes in your life you don't have a person to pep you up, you know, you can't rely on their validation. You know, you need to light your light. You need to be able to remind yourself, this is why I'm here, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm excited about, this is why things matter to me. And again, you can be more low energy on a physical level, but still have an inner light. You know, you can be like, yeah, I want a nap, but I'm glad I'm alive. You know, you can still, it doesn't mean that you're like going 80 miles an hour to have an inner light. The inner light is more like a heart spark, maybe. So, so maybe, you know, I'll stick that in as a theme in the walkthrough, inner light. Maybe I'll be able to stick that in somewhere. We'll see. But you could just kind of see, like, imagine your inner light, you know, just imagine it. And, you know, like, okay, is my inner light lit? You know, oh, it's a little tiny, you know, so then just heal it so it's bigger and bigger and bigger, you know. So you just feel like there's this big gold light that's within you, and that's you. You're illuminating yourself. And, you know, sometimes you might feel so depressed, you're like, well, you know, what's the point? You know, but maybe you love, you know, your kids, or you love somebody, you know, you want to help others, but if you have your light, then you're giving a great example to others. And an even better example is when you lost your light, but then you built it back up. You know, that's a really amazing example to give to other people, because we all have life hardships, and sometimes that inner light just goes out, you know, and then you need to, you know, breathe in enough so the light comes back on. So I guess just know that, you know, in bringing your light back on, you're giving a good example to other people. Even if you don't know them, they could be 3 blocks away, but it sets off a really positive ripple effect, and you are helping people that you may never even meet. You know, it's just a positive example to give in the world. So that's what I wanted to state for everybody, and I hope that you're able to light up your inner light now, especially if it's, you know, if for you it's around winter solstice. Yay! So I don't have a count right now. I think there are 8 kids in this set. I know the youngest is 5 and the oldest is 17. So, hi kids. You know, people from all sorts of countries. Let's see, what else do I want to say? Oh, I'm gonna get reading glasses, but I don't have them yet. So if you want, you can go my Instagram account. I have a new Instagram account, which, you know, kind of late to the scene on that, but I just got one. And I will be putting up photos of me and my glasses sometime next week when I get them. So anyway, I guess that might be what I wanted to say about this triplet set. Oh, well, you know what I should say too, the Life River, what Life River is Yeah, I explain it in more detail in the Life River intro video from last triplet set, which came out on probably December 12th or December 11th, something like that. But anyway, Life River is a way of, it's an energy thing where your eternal life force flows towards you, towards the present, right? You're an eternal soul. You've had other lifetimes already. And your eternal life force comes through conception in this life. And it looks like a river. You can imagine it like a river. And it might not be gold and flowing, but that would be the ideal, that it is gold and flowing coming towards you. So there's conception on one side, and then this river is flowing towards you, and here you are in the present, right? So, but sometimes people's rivers are like all dried up or blocked up or kind of flowing, but really blocked, and like the water has to divert and do all this drama. So these Life River healings, it's clearing out the blockages and anything that's altering that flow in an unpleasant way. And that flow of energy is life force and motivation. And in this set, it's also productivity. So we imagine any blocks to that Life River energy that affect productivity as we're healing. And we clear those. But this Life River 2.0 set, what it's doing is it's honing more in on the energy blocks that are there because, not just because maybe your flow isn't strong enough, which we can work on with healing and get it stronger, make the river flow stronger, but those energy blocks are in the river because you're repressing whatever, trauma or whatever life events put them there. And it could be something relatively minor, like say you were 5 years old and for you it was a really bad day, but the adults around you thought you were overreacting, So trauma is relative. If it was traumatic for you, then that's what counts. And so those traumatic events can make energy blocks in your river, but sometimes your mind doesn't repress them and your mind is sort of more open to the existence of that event. But other times your mind just can't handle, it's like too much that occurred for your mind. And again, trauma is relative, but sometimes it's too much for your mind, so your mind represses it and you go into denial, right? And this is standard psychology concepts, right? So but psychology and spirituality, they intersect a lot, which is cool. So anyway, if you're in denial about, the traumatic events that created those energy blocks, then your mind is actually accidentally holding those blocks in place. So as we strengthen this river, the blocks are like, your mind is kind of holding them there, and then you have this really weird experience of like, whoa, I feel weird, the block is right there, and boy do I feel it now, but it's not there, I'm in denial, so it's very wiggy. So that was only happening with a small percentage of people in the last set because of the unraveling of resistance helped, lessen up the denial, and it's great. But it opened up my mind to that these energy blocks that we're in denial about, those are big deal things, and let's get rid of them, to the extent that's healthy and gentle to do, because denial is there for a reason. Repression is there for a reason. Originally. So like when you were 5, that day was so awful maybe that, you didn't want to remember it when you were 6 or 7. But now that you're whatever age you are, it's possible that would be no big deal for you to clear. But your mind kind of doesn't get the memo. Your mind's still like, no. Yeah. So we can selectively find the energy blocks that you're like holding down with all your might, but that are like so okay for you to clear now. So you kind of get out of your own way, essentially. So that's what this set does. The Life River 2.0 set for Serenity and productivity, compassionate productivity. It will help you with that, help you get out of your own way. We're gonna keep looking for those energy blocks in your Life River that you're now ready to stop repressing. You're now ready to get out of denial about and just clear. It's real easy to do, and just makes life a lot less dramatic. So, you know, that's a good thing. So yeah, that might be what I needed to say. So thanks so much for your Friday surveys, and I look forward to reading your Sunday surveys. Oh, and just a word in case you didn't see the videos from the last triple set, you don't know what's up with this background. So this is just me sitting at my breakfast bar. Like my kitchen's this way, small-ish kitchen. My living room's this way. And Zen and Bambi, two of my cats are over here, and then all my dogs are asleep over there. We just gave them dinner, so they're peaceful right now. So, you know, it's dark and rainy out right now. So I'm here just, you know, at my breakfast bar with you guys. This is actually where I do a lot of my meditating, and this is where I did the triplet healing yesterday, and where I'll do the Sunday and Tuesday triplet healing also. So I have a different place in our house where I do my, you know, computer office work. So, all right, cool. I think that's it. So again, happy winter solstice, and I hope that you're forgiving of yourself if you do need a little rest and you're not like a productivity machine right now. Yeah, I hope that once your physical strength rallies back, you know, maybe from some rest, you know, if you get some catch up on your rest, then you will find your productivity, and, you know, this healing should help with that. I hope you're rocking the Serenity, because you can feel like you need a nap, but also feel very, very serene. And this healing, I'm sure, helps with that too. But again, if you're feeling off, don't assume it's the healing and there's nothing you can do. Check your aura, you know, because you may have like a giant, you know, gash in the back or something. You know, it just takes a couple minutes to get aura damage. So that video Gold Energy Aura Buffer Zones would walk you through that, which I'll put at the bottom of the playlist. So thanks so much for listening. And if you want, you can join me in one of the, I think it'll just be one big technique walkthrough for this set, but we'll see. And if you only want small, tiny videos to work your energy, that's okay. I understand. Sometimes, you know, you're just not that motivated. So the short ones would be at the bottom of the playlist. All right. Thanks so much. And I hope you have your inner light, you know, is shining. And if not, just kind of turn it on with your mind, you know. Maybe just an affirmation too. I have an inner light. You know, I can illuminate myself and my life. Okay, bye.